Today, I'll be saying the story of the wisdom for sale. So, long, long ago, in the kingdoms of India, there was a small family, and and there was a boy whose name was Shiro. Shiro lost his mother at a very young age. He was so sad after that. So now he only lives with his father, who was a poor peasant. He works very hard for very little money, but he was very fortunate to have Shiro because Shiro is extremely intelligent and wise. One day, Shiro's father gave Shiro some gold coins and told him to do some trade with it. And Shiro, as I said, he was very wise. So he went to the local trading market and he set up his area. And he shouted out wisdom for sale. No one understood what he was doing, and everyone thought Shiro was a madman doing something. Even his setup says that wisdom for sale, and the only thing which he has on stock is a piece of paper and one pen. No one understands what is happening, and everyone used to make fun of him every day. But Shiro, he used to be very patient, and he always looks for the right opportunity. One day, an young boy, one day, a son of a great merchant of the kingdom came by the market, and he was very astonished by Shiro's setup, which said wisdom for sale. And by the way, the name of the son, the name of the son of the great merchant was Sandaro. Then Sandaro, he came near Shiro and said, "Oh, I have never taken wisdom before. So I have 50 gold coins. How much can I get for that?" Then Shiro said, "Oh, I don't sell wisdom by quantity. I sell it by quality." Then um, Sundar does not understand it, but he was very excited by the unique thing. So he said, "Okay, take 50 gold coins and give me the wisdom, give me the wisdom for that price." And then Shiro took a paper and he wrote with the pen. Never and he wrote with the pen. Never and he wrote with the pen. Never watch when two people are arguing. Sandara became very happy and went to his father and told him the whole story of what happened. Sandara told his father actually in exciting and fun way. But his father, who was a great merchant, he thought that he knew everything about trading, and he thought that Shiro actually was a fraud and he was stealing from his son. And then he went he and then the great merchant, he went near Shiro and scolded him and asked him for the money. But Shiro said, "Oh, I won't give you my money unless you return my product." Then then the merchant said, "Okay, if that's what going to happen, then take this piece of paper which you sold my son and give me back our money." Then Shiro said, "Oh, you must be joking. I didn't just sell you the paper. I sold you the advice. I sold you the idea. You need to sign a document that you will never use that idea in your life again. Only if you sign the document, I will return your money." And also all the sellers or all the traders in the market along with Shiro agreed to him, and the great merchant, he had to sign the document. So he signed the document that his son will never watch two people arguing. And Shiro also returned the money. In soon time one day, Sundaro, he came by the market again. He came by the market again, and he saw two people arguing. Those two people were actually two mates who work for who work for the daughters who work for the two different daughters of the same king. And the name of the those two daughters were Tara and Lena, and the name of the king was Tara. So Dara and Lena, both of them were constantly at war with each other, and both of them are also very jealous of each other. So both of them has sent both of their mates to the same store, and that was a coincidence. And both of the mates they fought for the same piece of the rope over and over, but none of them got them, and they kept arguing for hours and hours. And Sandalo, as I said, he came by the market, and by mistake he watched the whole argument. Um, he watched the whole argument, and both of the mates considered Sandaro as as both of their witnesses. But Sandaro he did not know what to do because because now they'll go near the king and say that he's my witness. Both of them will say the same thing. So they have a huge problem right now. So the merchant or the father of Sandaro he comes near Shiro for more advice. Shiro gives them advice and he says that act like if you're mad and crazy near the king. In this way, the king will leave you um, thinking that thinking just thinking that you're a madman and you don't know anything that is solid. And the same thing happened. The king thought in the same way, and then he left Sandaro. But then the merchant again became sad because he thought that now because of that one situation, his son needs to act as a madman his whole life. Now he went again. He went towards Shiro again and asked him for another piece of advice. He gave the piece of advice for 50 gold coins, and even that plan worked. So in this way, um, but the advice was that um, Sandaro he needs to go near the king when he's in a very good mood and he needs to confess the whole story. And he said that the king will not become angry if you do the plan as I say, or if you that is when you go near the king only when he's in a good mood. So Sandaro went near the king when he was in a good mood and told him the whole story. Um, the king for the king forgave him, and he also laughed and said it was a very funny story. Um, and then um, and then um, and then by this process, the king actually knew about Shiro. Then the king called Shiro and he said, "Oh, can you even give me a piece of advice? I really appreciate your work." Then Shiro gave him a piece of advice for 100,000 gold coins because he's the king, and he gave the piece of and the piece of advice which he gave the king was very valuable. And the piece of advice was think a lot before you act. That night, while the king was sleeping, he was drinking his last drink before his sleep, and he did not know that his drink was actually poisoned by a doctor who was paid by a minister who was craving for the throne. So the minister basically tried to kill the king so that he could become the next king. But then, while the king was drinking, he remembered the quote which Shiro said, "Think a lot before acting." And then he paused drinking. The doctor who stayed there, who stared at him, and he thought that as the king stopped drinking, he actually thought that the king knew that he mixed poison in that. So he became very tense and nervous, and he breaked up, and he cracked, and he said that, and the doctor said that, "Oh, please forgive me, my king. I will not do this ever again. This is all because of the minister." And he said the whole story. Now the king he became very furious at the minister and imprisoned all of them, and imprisoned the minister and the doctor. In this way, Shiro saved the life of the king. So the king called Shiro and said the whole story what happened, and he was also very grateful for Shiro for saving his life. So he gave Shiro half of the kingdom, and he gave Shiro half of the kingdom, and also asked Shiro to be one of his ministers. In this way, Shiro got a stay in the royal palace. Thank you.